Hello, YouTube. This is Adv2k169 with...
Sorry, excuse me, I'm choking getting on a minute. Funbaba00.
And we just finished watching Resident Evil Afterlife in 3D.
No, that was 4D, man.
It was actually a fantastic 3D. I think the best since Avatar. I could say that pretty...
Damn, that is overstating it, don't you think?
Oh, you like the 3D?
That was effing stupid ass film. It was okay.
Okay, the 3D part first.
Oh, yeah, 3D was fine. I mean, actually it was kind of weird to see this movie in 3D. I mean, it's okay. It's not necessary at all.
I say it's necessary. I thought the action was a lot of fun. Maybe you just... Because you're 2 seats to the left. Maybe if you're exact center like I was, you could see it better. But I thought it was really cool, and they really did it well. So
Well, I did thought that Mia Jovovich had 3 breasts at one point. Maybe I was sitting off to the side or something. It just wasn't popping out right at me.
This is the first Resident Evil movie where you don't see your breasts, I think.
Really? Oh my God! You're right. Come to think.
Now, some history here.
Yes.
Funbaba has not seen the 3rd movie.
No, I haven't seen the 2nd one, I don't think. I don't even remember.
Alright, and he hasn't played any Resident Evil games since 3.
I haven't played any of them.
Oh, you played 2.
Well, a little bit. I dabbled.
And I own all the Resident Evil games except for 5 because I don't have a 360. And I've watched and at one time owned all the movies. So I haven't watched 3. I thought 3 sucked. And I haven't watched it since it came out in theaters. So, for the both of us, it's kind of hard to get into it. I do remember things from 3, but not as much. But, Funbaba was totally lost.
Well, I mean, I understood the plot, and even, there was no obscure references in the film that I didn't understand, other than the multiple Jovoviches. Now, that was weird. That made no sense to me whatsoever. But in this movie, you really stop caring about what makes sense because of all, I guess, the bullshit events. I mean, just the physics of it is no, it wouldn't happen that way at all. This is totally movie magic in all of its explicit, horrifying toilet glory. That's how I can sum it up. That's why this movie is damn stupid. You're just watching it and cringing just how idiotic, just how things process are.
Alright, so it's a dumb action movie, but this is the 4th Resident Evil movie. You should know that coming in, that the other Resident Evil movies are not that good. None of them are. I think this is easily the best of the 4.
How did they do in the box office?
The last 3. Well enough to make a sequel.
I guess, yeah.
But, they're brainless, fun action movies. And that's what they are. They're not supposed to have deeper meanings like Funbaba loves to find. They're not supposed to really have any kind of saucy, secret messages about society or anything. No, they're straightforward action, fun movies. You just enjoy it for what it is.
I guess.
So, in this plot, Alice, or Mila Jovovich, what's her name?
Alice, yeah. Well, that's her character.
Yeah, she goes to Alaska. Well, she kicks Wesker's ass at the beginning of the movie in Japan. And then they go to Alaska, which they do mention in the 3rd movie.
She survived the crash. I mean, first off, and it totally unscarred. That was...
Well, she still has the...
And he didn't? Well, I guess he did.
Well, both of them are infected with the T virus.
But
so they have but they're both superior than regular humans. So she was cured, kind of, but it wasn't completely one dose over time. So that's the kind of the way I could explain her survival of that crash. And of course, if you know anything about Wesker from the video games, he's invincible.
He's a douchebag, invincible at that.
I mean, you kill him in every damn Resident Evil game. He somehow manages to come back.
Oh my God.
Now, the way they eventually kill him off here, I don't see how he can survive that.
Now, where did all those helicopters come from? What was that? What is that plot entrance? Okay, let's finish the movie here. Yeah.
Yeah.
What? It's like, okay, why not? You know, I mean, all the other shit that came in. Yeah, come on. How about another tanker? You know, the Abercrombie 2 or the Arcadia 2. Like, why not? Yeah.
You know, so Tom is talking about the ending, which the best we can not spoil this movie with doing a review, but the ending, it does leave it open for a sequel, which I gotta say, after the fourth movie, I did very much enjoy this, actually. I didn't hate it like Funbaba did, but why keep going with it? Why not just end it here? It ended well, and I was like, really? You need to do that?
I thought it ended well back in Resident Evil 1. Or maybe 2. Well, I never saw 3. So.
Alice goes to this place called Arcadia, which is the sanctuary city, and no one's there.
But yeah, what kind of a stupid ass is she to go up to Arcadia, Alaska? Nobody's there.
Well, she didn't know that.
Well, like the ship was never there. Or maybe it was there. But she made a mistake coming to Alaska, and supposedly other people did too, and there's like a whole subplot like leading up to that as well. So what a coincidence that is.
Well, you have to see the third movie in that regard, because they do talk about it, because they're trying to find a city where the virus is not spread to.
Yeah. So I guess they named the ship after the same town that no longer exists.
So
stupid. It's a fun stupid, I guess, or like.
So
if you love cringes, you know, if you love cringing through a movie, then this one is for you.
So they eventually go to another place. She looks all around the United States, or all around the West Coast, which I'll give you that point. She never puts gas in the damn airplane.
Like she must land like, you know, every so many hours in order to refuel a plane with all the gas she apparently has on board their little tiny biplane.
I mean, from Alaska to California to LA is a damn huge trip. It's like fucking days.
Wait. Yeah, and it took her what, 2 days to fly that whole thing? Was it? Or like, well, you know, even in the same day?
Well, yeah, you didn't really see how much time difference was between that, but you know that takes for. You know.
Oh shit! Yeah, heck yeah.
And it's Alaska and LA are very, you know. It might as well be the east to the west coast of the United States.
But remember what we learned in geology? The Alaska plate is heading towards the LA plate, so they're coming together. Maybe, why not?
Well, okay, so she goes to this jail, and there's other survivors there, and they find a way. During this whole endeavor, they find Chris and Claire Redfield from the video games. From Resident Evil, Chris and Claire have been in various games. I don't want to. Chris was the first one, was in the Resident Evil 1, of course.
He was in Felix the Cat as well.
And Resident Evil Code Veronica mostly dealt with Claire. So they, you know, Claire actually came back from Resident Evil 3, I think it was. And Jill, I think, died or just disappeared. I forgot where Jill went. But they do try to have more kind of there with the games. Speaking of the games, Los Plagas is referred to, but they don't actually talk about it, which is kind of weird. Did you notice like some parasites' heads, faces, things?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Like whenever the zombies would like try to bite someone, their parasite head would explode and like try to bite.
Wait.
Like a thing came out of their head.
Like the tentacles?
That's the Los Plagas.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that.
Which is from Resident Evil 4, and if you don't, this is completely off the movie subject. They get into that storyline, but they don't explain it, which is kind of weird because Los Plagas is completely different than the T-Virus. And you wouldn't see that if you had the Resident Evil 4. So it's kind of weird why they even mention that. And then they have the Axeman, which I know is from Resident Evil 5. I haven't played Resident Evil 5, but I know he's from Resident Evil 5. And of course, they don't explain that at all.
Yeah, like, where did he come from? Why? And why only one of them? Like, you would think maybe there'd be 80. Okay, wait, I want to get to the prison stuff. Because actually, I will say, this is what's good about the movie, is that they actually do explore, you know, being in a prison during a zombie plague, which is really badass. I wanted them to explore that, except that they didn't screw it up. Well, I'll say, at one point, the zombies eventually get into the prison, and they're all up on the roof, and then, like, 2 minutes later, they've already, like, swamped the whole prison, and they're all coming at them. There's, like, must be hundreds of zombies. No, but 5 of them are holding them off with just handguns. And, like, at no point do they as many as they are running at them, like never do they reach them. Like that was, they flood a prison you would think would have good controls to, keep the zombies busy to get to like the roof area access on the very top. But no, I guess this is LA prison. Maybe they're horribly flawed in design.
Well, okay. If they don't really specifically say so, but when they do fly around the prison, you see all the zombies around there. So you kind of get the assumption that almost the entire population of Los Angeles is now zombies. So whenever they find the opening, you could probably thousands, if not maybe 1 million zombies around the prison. So, there's bound to be, and they're hungry.
Yeah.
Zombies can't eat other zombies that I know of.
Right.
I've never seen another zombie movie that has that, so I'll let that rule go in, that zombies can't eat other zombies.
Right.
So, yeah, it was not realistic, but it was fun. It was just stupid guy fun. Just accept it for what it is.
No, it's true. I think it's I think in the end maybe it is, maybe they are trying to make something of a serious movie. Like there is that air to it. It's not like Zombieland where,
Well, they're making fun of it.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's the one aspect of it that just doesn't sit well in the movie, and it really doesn't.
Now, I do think the movie flows pretty well.
Yeah.
From scene to scene.
Yeah.
Like, there's no real. It just everything kind of. In that way, the plot kind of just moves along and makes sense.
There is a logic to it, even though it's jacked beyond
it's movie magic.
But it does move. It does flow like a toilet.
And so the action sequences were all fun. I thought they're all well done. I thought the 3D was great. I thought all the scenes were built within it, and the stuff was flying at you. But sometimes it was just the depth of it and. Like, some of the stuff was gimmicky occasionally, but it was still fun. You could tell that this was not a post. This was made to be in 3D. So, I thought I really got a lot out of it. I really do think it was on the same bar of Avatar, which is not very few minute movies. I think this is the only other one that I would put even in the range of Avatar good 3D. Everything else I thought is gimmicky and stupid 3D, what I've seen so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe with the exception that one scene Superman Returns, but that's a whole other story. But yeah. So I thought the 3D was great. Do you think it's worth watching in 3D? I mean,
if you really, really, really like 3D, then yeah, go see it. But you're gonna cringe, so bring diapers.
All right. So, how would you score this movie?
All right. Well, I know in the past I've been very notorious with giving off 10s to every movie, but I end that tradition today. I give this one a 5, man. It was stupid, explore some new concepts, stupid. So I think, yeah.
Alright, so that's a 5 from Funbaba. I think the first 5 we've ever recorded from Funbaba. Anything lower than a 7, I think, from Funbaba.
Yeah, I think that's actually true. So a 5, coming from me is
So it's a dumb action movie. I knew this coming in. I was not.
True, and I did too, even, but still.
Alright, I would give it. This is kind of hard. I actually really got into it, and I'll give it a 7. I think it was a good time. I say it's worth going in 3D. If you don't watch it in 3D, move it down to a 6.2.
Well, you're usually a lot harder than me on grading, so I would have actually laughed if you would have given it a 4. It's like, so, yeah, it was good, and actually, I got a good vibe. 4, and here I am. It fucking sucked. 5.
So I liked it a lot. I thought it was the best of all the Resident Evil movies. That's saying not saying much, because I do think that they did the action really well. I think the action is fantastic, and you can actually see what's going on. Other Resident Evil movies, they don't show you the action, but still, I enjoyed it. I think you should go see it, especially in 3D. That's pretty much it for the review. Any last words from Bubba?
I think I liked 1 the best.
All right.
I'll have to see 2 again.
That's it for us. Bye.
Bye-bye.